We're here with our P3 class going over Chapter 11, Quiz A. All right, let's take a moment just to read it, make sure we know what's going on. We've got a large manufacturer of batteries. What's your favorite manufacturer of batteries, Enzo? Duracell. Duracell, do you agree, Enzo? Duracell? Duracell? No? Everyone's a Duracell person? No Energizer? The bunny? Yeah, come on now, right? Okay. No Amazon? No, I'm just kidding. All right. So historically, 10% of the batteries coming off the production line are defective. All right, that's not good, right? Oh no is right. All right. The remaining 90% of the batteries coming off this line they're okay. They're working. All right. So we're going to run a simulation to estimate how many batteries the company would need to pull off the production line to make sure that we get 10 working batteries. So this is the beginning of our unit on planning and running simulations, studies, and experiments. All right, it's a very short unit, only 3 chapters, very quick. All right, so our test is not going to be next week, but the week after. All right, so it's going to go very fast. Okay, so in this chapter, we're going to imagine we were actually going to do this in person, but I don't have access to the Energizer manufacturing plant. All right, so I can't take like a class field trip to go do this. So I have to, I know, shucks. So I have to imagine that we're going to do this. So the first thing I do here is I look at my percentages. And what do you notice about those percentages? They should add to 100. Very good. There's another thing that I'm focused on. It's all about what they end in. What do they end in? 0. They end in 0. So if you notice on this one that they end in 0, I only need, and I'll write this down in my paragraph in a moment, single digits. I only need single digits, okay? Because how many single digits are there? Okay, that's one of them. There's more than that. How many single digit numbers are there? They're not 9. Don't forget about 0. There's 10, right? This one say yes. 10. All right? 10. So people who watch that in this class will get it. Okay. So they're 10. So this is the key takeaway from this example. If it ends in 0 for your percentages, you're using single digits. Okay? What if it doesn't end in 0? You're going to be using double digits. All right? 2 digits. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay? So if I'm going to use, I'm going to say each single digit number will represent, and what are we talking about here? Batteries. Okay, so each single digit number will represent a battery. Now it's up to you on how you want to assign these. All right, when I look at my percentages, it says 10% that come off the line are defective. All right, so what's 10% of 10 digits? 1 digit. All right, so you just need to assign one of these digits to be defective. What number would you like to assign? 8. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Most students would say 0 because it's the first one, or they'll say 9, the last one. But you can choose whatever one you want. The number you hate the most, I guess. All right, so I'm just going to assign 0. Oh, my goodness. Amazing character. Assign 0 to be a defective battery. Now, if you, Joseph, want to do 8, do 8. Okay, we'll just do 8. It's fine. All right, so if I'm using 0 to represent my 10% of defective batteries, what's going to represent my 90% of working? The other numbers, which are, Victor? 1 through 9. Very good. So assign 1 through 9 to be a working battery. Now, this is something I'm going to ask you every time you do this, right? You need to ask yourself, because we're about to do this in a moment together, right? What happens when I see a repeat, right? What happens when I see a number repeat itself? Is that a problem? That's what you have to ask yourself, Maria. Are we going to ignore it and just keep, like, we're going to ignore it and not count it? Or we're going to say, it's fine, count it. So here's my question to myself, all right? Do these numbers represent specific one battery? So like these numbers right here, right? Am I saying that this battery here, this battery here, this battery, worth it. This battery is the number 2. Am I saying that? No. I'm not saying, gosh, it's amazing. Yeah, I'm not saying that. All right, so in this problem, repeats are okay. Repeats are okay. When I see them, I'm totally fine with it. You're going to count them, okay? Really good? Save that for later. Okay. So repeats are okay. So you need to mention that, right? I need to know what to do with repeats, right? Because ideally, when I grade your quiz on Wednesday, Thomas, when I grade it on Wednesday, this Wednesday, I need to be able to read it, and I'm going to run it the way you say. And if I don't get the same results that you did, we have a problem, right? So I want to make sure I can run it based on what you wrote. Okay, repeats are okay. All right, so how do I know when to stop? How do I know when to stop this? I'm going to look at numbers. I'm going to keep track of, okay, that's working, that's not working for these batteries. How do I know when to stop? Because I can just go on forever. When working batteries reaches 10. Very good. So this is the key thing that your brain needs to know. It's not that you go until you've done 10 batteries, because what if you've had 1 or 2 or multiple that have been defective? We're going until we have 10 working ones. So you want to make sure, so keep track of how many batteries until you get 10 working batteries. All right, and the very last thing that I write down is, what am I recording? What do I care about at the end? What is my takeaway from running these trials? What am I writing down? Like trial 1, write it down. How many batteries
needed to pull off the production line
to get
10 working ones.
Very good. I love it. So write down or record the number it took. All right. Any questions before we do it? All right. So this is what I expect you to be able to do on your own Wednesday in the second part of class. I know, Raul, but don't worry, right? Tomorrow you're going to watch some videos. You're going to read the textbook. You hear me? So good.
Sure. So you want us to assign numbers, and then you want us to say repeats are okay?
Or they may not be okay, right? You need to ask yourself if they're okay. Very situational. Yes, context is key. And then you're going to tell me when to stop, essentially. How do I know when to stop? And then what do I write down? What do I care about? What do I record? Are we ready? Let's try one together. You ready? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Trial 1. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Here we go. Battery number 1. So sad. What do I see here?
1.
What is that?
A working
battery! Wow. Yes. I'll do a check. But whatever you want to do. You can put W for working. Right? Because remember in my assignment?
Single digits.
Yes, single digits. The next one. 0. 0 is my defective. 5. Oh, no, I'm just the single digit numbers. Sad. Okay. And then 2, 4, 2, 5. Good. Oh, no, another defective. And then 6, 9, 2. What am I at right now? I've looked at 10 total, but how many working do I have?
8.
I only have 8 working, right? 4 from this group and 4 from this group. So I got to go to 1 and 8. So what am I recording in trial 1? How many batteries did it take me to make sure that I got 10 working ones? 12 batteries. Let's do 2 more trials. Here we go. Ready? Trial 2. Done. I know, right? How many did it take me to get 10 working batteries? It took me 10. That's the key. So I'm really glad your brain did that, Joseph. So you do that today and not Wednesday, right? You're right. We have 0 defective, but the question is, how many batteries did it take to get 10 working? It took 10. You're good. This is a good mistake now. Okay, here we go. Trial 3. Oh, no. Defective right out of the bat, right out of the chute. And then we're working. Oh, no. Another defective. Oh, no. Another defective. Let's see. How many do I have now? I have 9. One more. 10. So what did it take me on the last one? 13. All right. So on Wednesday, when you finish this part, I'm ready for your last statement. All right. To answer the question. All right. What am I going to tell my boss? How many working batteries, how many batteries should I take off the line to ensure that I get 10? 13. Why'd you choose that?
Because it's the highest one.
It's the safe option, right? Because one of the trials, we had no defective ones, right? So you could tell your boss, hey, look, trial 2, I got 10 for 10. So go and just take 10. We'll deal with it. But you want to make sure that you look good with your boss. So you're going to probably choose, most students are going to say 13. You could also do the median. You could also do the mean. You could do a statistic, your choice. Here's the thing, guys. I'll write the sentence in a moment. If we're doing this with a computer system, how many trials would I do? Millions of trials, right? Because I could do millions of trials in minutes, and then I could actually see if 10 is going to happen that much, or if it's going to be, that's potentially an outlier. Okay? So just keep that in mind, right? So I usually write something like, I guess I'd write that number 3. My bad. Here we go. Based on my 3 trials, I would pull 13 batteries to ensure I get 10 working ones. All right, that's all I need to see on Wednesday for your conclusion. You could also write a statement of, but I would also, if I was doing my due diligence here, run many more trials. Yes, Tom.
This question is subjective, right? So if we just answer with decent evidence, then you can rate it, okay?
Yeah, most people are going to say what we just wrote, that you're going to pull the largest one just to be sure, right? And then if you want to put that statement of but I would run many more trials.
And that has to be included.
Does not need to be included. No. It does not.